I need to reset my camera, but I'll do that when I'm done snacking.
Oh, sure. Okay. Then yeah, we'll get going after our snack break. I will say that I continue the trend. So I had Chipotle raspberry salsa earlier, and just now I finished some pineapple jerk, which is very tasty. It has Scotch bonnet peppers, pineapple. It's a very Southwest flavor salsa, has a little bit of smokiness to it, and it's made in Canada, interestingly enough. So there we go. I just noticed that when I was looking over
I'm
the
just surprised that you can finish off a whole can of salsa. Like, that's impressive to me.
It's good. I mean, salsa. It fits in my hand. It's like a cup. So it's like saying, oh, you can drink a cup of soda. Now it's a very thick soda, but I mean, it's like.
I can't do that. That heat just makes me want to just be like.
It's not too hot. A very low heat.
I just don't like salsa. I like con queso.
Mm-hmm. Tasty.
But I don't like salsa.
Ah, satirical. Yep.
She's trying to open the door again.
So sweet and spicy. It's a low heat. It lingers, but it's a low heat. But yeah, pineapple, tomatoes, and Scotch bonnet peppers, with a Caribbean jerk blend of other spices in there too. So it's good stuff. Hashtag not sponsored by generic store brand salsa. Now, I mean, if Kroger wants to sponsor me, I'll take a Kroger sponsorship for sure. I'll shill for them all day.
Their private selection stuff is really good.
Yes. Yep. So howdy to Derek and Raiders. I see Plunder Loot, Demon Quingar, Cherries.
Sound of feasting home.
Hey.
And oh, there's cat aggro going on.
She's knocked over the thing that I have pushed in front of the door to try and get her to stop actually going out the door today. And she's knocked it down. Now she's going to attempt to open the door.
I still can't see coffee.
Oh,
I don't know why.
I can see both of you
Mm.
from my location in the Panopticon. Well, let's give some cat butts. And
Use the same internet provider, so I don't know why it's any different.
bees apparently make all the difference.
Bees?
Bees.
Bees?
Bees. So howdy to all of you who are hanging out. If you came over in a raid or you're lurking, you've been here since the beginning. Whether the beginning was tonight or the beginning was a year ago, 2 years ago,
3 maybe?
getting closer. Oh my goodness. We've been doing this for a minute. All right, so where we are coming back to, for those of you who have just arrived, Chroma Company has enjoyed a breakfast that is that has been contemplative as well as digestive, and there is a plan to go out and I mean, I could say like do some shopping, but we're possibly still in the middle of a undead apocalypse in the city. However, Selene, who is our lovely lady right over here, is in a burial gown. And that's it. So, she needs to... If you're going to go possibly into the deepest, darkest mausoleums and crypts and other out-of-the-way undead places, you might want something more than a gauzy dress in order to do so. So, Chroma Company here has decided to go shopping. And there's also a matter of possibly cross-mogenating some magic in this location. Because magic is weird and who knows how it works except that it does. But it doesn't hurt to try. And ultimately they have a map to take them to these crypts. And I guess we'll find out what they might discover. Now real quick, because our first part did go over a little bit here, Are you all good for at least an hour, or are any of you hitting a hard time limit?
Nope, no hard stop for me.
No.
Fluffy?
Yeah, I should finish up by 3 or so, but that's...
Oh, 3 is well within... Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
I have insomnia, so I could go all night.
Yep.
I will tell you, I think it would be fun at some point in time to have a traditional all-nighter with you all. And, I mean, I'll wear pajamas,
Yeah.
we'll get pizza or something, and we'll just, like, you know, we start when the sun goes down and we don't stop rolling dice until it comes back up, and we're all just bleary. But we had an amazing time.
We've already done that a couple of times.
All right, yes. But not with the same cool sentiment and hype that I just delivered it.
Stops.
Yeah, we'll see. If there's possibly a large event that might require a long-term thing, I'll broadcast it. I'll broadcast that possibility to you all. Although, you know what? At the same time, if you got a hard cutoff because of whatever, we'll make a part 2.
He's nearly managed opening the door.
Oh, Norallie brought up a very interesting point. I don't know. So I think physically, height-wise, yes, it would have to be constrained in that way. Although other dimensions do not have to follow suit. I just don't know how close the two were. Oh, Selene. Apparently, Selene is 6'2". So
Is she?
at least on the character sheet. Now, I don't know if that was.
I think she did get like a wild magic grow at one point.
I don't think Corinna was that tall. Corinna was at most maybe 5'8".
Okay, well.
So Selene would be 5'8".
So yeah, Selene is 5'8". So that's just she's a little bit. She's not a short stack, but you know she's got a little extra thickness on her then if she came back.
How interesting.
But anyway, we got a shopping trip to do. So crawling through the sideways, the byways, the crawl spaces.
We were at first.
Yes.
We were gonna try and fix the thingamajiggy.
Oh, you want to fix the thingamajiggy first? Okay.
Yes.
And sure.
So Mordecai is just gonna take Norallie to where he was casting Word of Recall.
Hey, I got all 3 of you.
Make this a permanent kind of recall point, and kind of gets her to look at it.
We got.
Do you?
I'm sorry. Keep going.
Do you kind of understand how it is that your magic works, or how magic works really at all? I mean, you cast spells.
I understand. I can do things,
Uh-huh.
and then sometimes other things happen.
Right. Which have strangely been going off a lot lately.
Yeah, it has. It's been a while since, so you know, I didn't really notice, but it has been going off quite a lot.
Is that new?
Mm,
Like, since all of us got out of hell, kind of new?
yeah, yeah, it's pretty new. I mean, it did happen a lot, but like, it's happening like almost all the time now.
It could get dangerous, can't it?
Sometimes, but I haven't exploded on you guys, so that's good.
Which is great, you know, because that was, I think, our worry back in the flower field as well. But
Yeah.
we also
But
weren't
sometimes it
nearly
does cool
as...
things.
Like the butterflies. That's weird. Weren't they owls?
Yeah, they
Or
were
weren't you
supposed to be
intending
owls.
owls?
I was
It's
intending owls. Although the butterflies were really pretty. That was
They
fun.
were. I agree. They definitely felt very you.
You know, things like that happen. Like sometimes I'll cast a spell and there'll be little butterflies, or um uh or like I will feel really energetic and be able to cast a lot more spells than I usually can. Or sometimes random metal things pop up out of nowhere and start driving boats and uh
That was
you
weird
know
too.
yeah, that was weird. That was new. Wait, actually there was that one time, but it wasn't a boat. Yeah, it was weird.
And Mr. Halver was trying to help you understand it all, right?
Yeah. Um and I think it was working because, you know, it was I was getting better at it. And well, I guess after he was gone it started getting worse again.
After he was gone is when we lost you.
Yeah, so could be unrelated to that, but maybe I just, it was a while since I had used magic, so maybe I just kind of forgot how to control it.
Do you want to practice?
Can I say that again?
Do you want to practice it? Controlling it?
I could
I mean, my
try.
spell won't stick for some reason.
Did you try saying it backwards?
Tried what?
Saying it backwards.
Saying, like, the
The spell.
incantation?
Yes.
Uh, I've never tried that before.
I tried it once. It was fun.
Usually spells are said in a specific way because of the rhythmic kind of stuff. They have to have some
Uh,
sort of cadence to them.
well, kind of, but not really.
Well,
It's
if
about
these are the
intention.
words, and he kind of says the incantation for the spell, do you think you could say it backwards?
Uh, yeah. Say it one more time.
And he says the incantation for the spell again, just the verbal component, because there is only a verbal component to the spell, really.
Okay. I will attempt to say it backwards.
And he kind of sing-songs it. You notice that he has a very specific cadence with all of his spells.
I will try to mimic the cadence, but backwards.
Okay. Well, roll a performance.
Yeah.
Ah, not too terrible. You apparently catch on quickly. If it's not recorder lessons, it's or ocarina lessons or whatnot. It's
I'm a charismatic girl.
yeah. So you end up saying it pretty flawlessly backwards.
Does anything happen?
Not offhand.
Hmm. Maybe you gotta do it backwards.
I'm going to also attempt it backwards.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do that. Um you do say it backwards. It sounds kind of silly. Nothing necessarily happens. Bright, the professor leans down to you and is like, what? Is this magic that they're doing? Or are they just playing?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't really know how Mordecai's magic works anyway. So, I mean, if saying it backwards does something, then, well, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Should we... Is there anything that we can do, or should we just watch?
I'm happy to watch for right now. I have a counterspell ready in case something gets out of hand.
Oh, thank you.
But I'm not planning to use it. I might need it later.
All right. Oh, yes. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. All right, then. I'll... And as you two are doing this, the professor will get up, but he'll go grab a pillow to sit on, and he'll bring one for Bright, and also invite Selene to kind of sit on the I guess on the impromptu couch or whatever, as you all are. Okay, so I don't know, Norallie, what is your reaction here? He's trying it. It sounds silly, but you know what? Nothing had an immediate effect, but he's pretty good at it.
That was an exercise Mr. Halver told me to try. Maybe your magic's different than mine, so maybe that's why it doesn't work.
Yeah. Mine's always been kind of performative. Always kind of musical.
Maybe we should try a different instrument.
I used to have a pan flute. It disappeared in hell.
Hell?
Want to borrow my flute?
You have a flute?
Yes. You were teaching me. Are you okay? Are you awake? She just kind of checks his forehead.
We haven't... None of us have really decompressed since all of this.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. I've definitely been better. But I slept well.
That's
and
good.
Yeah, I'll be okay.
You sure?
Yeah, it's just a lot of things going on, and we don't know what's going on outside, and we're gonna have to go down to a crypt for to see if Miss Mercury's down there, and I don't really want to, but we probably should.
I know. It's good to have you back, kiddo. Miss you.
It's nice to be back.
He kind of just gives her a little bit of a side hug.
Hmm.
He doesn't want to be too imposing, but does kind of want to rustles her hair a little bit.
Lucky I haven't brushed it. Otherwise, I'd complain.
So?
Yeah, so why don't you try using the flute?
Okay. I'm going to take the flute that she has, and I'm going to attempt to recast the spell.
Sure.
Using the flute that she has.
Yeah.
There's a material component to this, but
you doot out a little tune with it, and nothing magically seems to shift or change. Although along those lines, the professor does lean over to Bright. He's like, if you don't... are you able to detect if there's any changes in this spell? Is there something you can...
I mean, maybe.
It might not hurt to monitor.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have it like a detect magic spell up right now, but I could watch them closely and see if I can see anything, just like with my trained eye.
Yes, I'll do the same from my own perspective. Of course,
Okay.
all of this happening is a lot of questions are coming up, but yes. Anyway, I find this actually is rather fascinating. They get along rather well, don't you think?
I mean, I suppose. What do you mean?
Just, I haven't exactly been traveling with you all for, well, depending on how you want to calculate the length of time we've spent in Oiho. But
Yeah, I'd really rather not, actually.
But I swear that, especially since Norallie has been with us, I think she might have actually even smiled for a second there when Mordecai was trying to say that word backwards.
Well, okay.
It just seems like she's having a good time.
Well, I sure hope so. I mean, this is fun. Experimenting with magic. And, when I was in wizard school, people would experiment with magic and all kinds of funny things would happen. So it kind of reminds me of that a little. But hopefully they don't blow themselves up, or us.
Oh, my dear Bright, believe me, I've heard much from my colleagues at university.
Yeah.
All right, so you play a little song, Mordecai. The peanut gallery is whispering to itself, but pay them no heed. And
Not a practice when it comes to a flute.
the finger. Actually, go ahead and make a performance.
Okay, because I'm not proficient in in flutes anymore.
So I guess this would just be straight up charisma.
Straight up charisma check. Okay.
Oh, Norallie. So yeah, you hand it over, and Mordecai's like trying to use it, and just breep.
I think I'm better than you at the flute.
Yeah.
Because I should practice.
I appreciate that you've been practicing. I haven't, strangely enough, with the flute. I'm a little bit more handy with the violin at this point. Same with piano. I used to be able to do piano, and I'm out of practice. Oh well. I'd probably suck trying to play some jaunty tune on a piano in some bar somewhere.
But you can make a lot of money, dude.
Yeah. We kind of already have a lot of money.
I mean, yeah, but money doesn't last forever.
No, it doesn't. And you gotta spend money on things, but
You gotta keep looking for it.
we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. It's not necessary right now.
The professor, as you two are still like here and thinking about this and conversing, the professor stands up. Would it help if I provided a measure to help with the cadence of your flute playing or your manipulations? I'm very good at timing things.
It's appreciated, Professor, but I don't think that that's what we're looking for.
I mean, it might be. You never know. It's magic.
Well,
and if your magic is you playing music, then maybe having like a metronome would help.
I often don't need a metronome.
Yeah, but this is magic.
Metronome is too clinical. You've got to feel it. It's a little less. I mean, the timing and things like that can be important sometimes, but more often than not, the feeling behind what you're playing is more important.
Forest gnomes are better than metronomes anyway.
Yeah, those city folk just don't know what it's like to live in the country.
I don't know if there's a such thing, right? But that's funny.
I suppose I could improvise if you need. If you don't need something that is clinical, as you said, I could give a stomp and a shimmy and a clap and leave it up to you to adapt to the percussion.
I think I want you to try and cast the spell, Norallie.
You have like a scroll? Because I don't really know how to just cast these spells, really.
I don't have one ready. I don't know. I kind of... this place is very much the home of the forgotten. And for a time, you spent time like that.
Mm-hmm.
Thought maybe that some kind of, I don't know, you'd be able to help lock it down with the kind of resonance that might feel in this place.
Maybe. I mean, I've never been here before. But,
No, but someplace similar, you said.
Yeah, pretty similar. It didn't have church symbolism, though. It's more of a warehouse.
Mm. I don't know how to lock this down because I don't know what that's like. This place is infused with that kind of feeling.
I guess I could try. Okay. So, I know the words. So what exactly does the spell do? It helps if I can visualize it.
It's an anchor. It's in the case of emergency, much like the teleportation circles that I used to do. It can get us out of a tight spot and into a safe place.
Oh, I know how to teleport, so maybe I should do something. Okay. And she's gonna just like motion for Mordecai to step back, and everyone to step back, at least the distance of a fireball.
I don't know that there's that much distance in here, but
no.
Please. Get to the walls. And she's going to attempt to cast the spell.
You got this, kiddo.
Sure.
Or something similar.
You,
It helps. I can use a 7th level spell slot where I have teleport.
I want you to roll an Arcana at disadvantage.
Oh, hey, I'm proficient. Nope.
That's a 7. All right. So Norallie, all right. You got this pep talk here from Mordecai. You're all right. I'll try it, and ha!
Do I get to make an Arcana roll too to see, like, insight into the spell like the professor suggested? Oh, there's a special message here.
Before I did my acting, I was just about ready to hit enter. So I'm gonna say no, you can't, Bright.
Well, isn't that sad?
But so yeah, Norallie, you like spirit fingers? No. Nothing flashy happens. Nothing.
I just cast Shocking Grasp to make it look like something happens.
There's a delay, and then just a little fireworks. Like we got Jubilee over here.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Oh, okay. Did you cast a spell?
I tried.
Maybe try casting something that you know that's similar or with that feeling in mind.
Okay.
I don't want to exhaust you, but
Let's see. Well, I got. I know 2 that would be similar. One of them's a lot harder than the other. Okay. I'm gonna teleport all of us into the square that I'm standing.
Okay. Give me.
I'd prefer not to go. I don't count as a willing creature for this purpose.
if it helps, I'm gonna help her. So.
Okay, let me finish typing something, and then we're going to resolve the stack, because there's several things that are going to happen here.
Do you want me to roll wild magic while we're on it?
I want you to roll a d20, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we know the sorcery's at the bottom of the stack.
I gotta recollect my thought. Oh, yeah.
I use my 7th collective spell slot.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I still have an 8.
But once I have the anchor, I can use it for 24 hours, so...
Oh no, it has a spell slot. Sick.
Sorry, what?
It says that there's a save to it, but it's not a save spell.
Oh, yeah, because it does that for every spell on description spells. Yep.
Alright. I know I sometimes don't have my spells calculated correctly.
Okay. All right, so, Bright, you know what teleport feels like, and you say nope. And,
Not unless it's really important. Because this is not a safe place for teleporting.
Selene probably also opts out as like this magic goes off, and she's just like, what's happened? Like, she doesn't know what to expect, and she's gonna say, like,
she knows out.
Yeah, she's mentally prepared, like, defensively to, in case something's gonna blow up or whatever. Especially because Nora's like, yeah, I need y'all to stay at a fireball range. And the professor is going to be the same way as well. Okay, so now, Norallie, I need you to roll a D100, please.
Yeah. Alright, let's get that 7 or 8. Nope.
Okay.
33.
So... 1 second. Okay. Norallie and Mordecai disappear.
See, this is exactly what I was worried about. I may not have time to say that. We'll see.
Well, we're just going to move these two down. And we're going to move... a U and a U. By the way, everyone, I don't think I got to flex this token because it was the other Mordecai one that we had on the other maps. But you two disappear, and you're here.
I'm immediately defensive.
This wasn't where I was trying to go. I was trying to go right back where we were. Yeah. Maybe you should have just not done all that.
Maybe not. We've seen this place many times before.
Mm-hmm.
And
Norallie, there's a black strand that's crawling along the ground, question mark, towards you.
Oh, back up.
I get between it and her.
I'm gonna take out my obsidian steed, and I'm going to summon Selby.
Okay.
It was a big old purple nightmare.
Okay.
What is this? I just kind of say towards the strand thing.
Hi, Selby. How you doing? We need your help. And I'm just gonna grab her reins. And I'm going to take Mordecai's hand. I'm gonna ask for Selby to take us out of here, please.
Okay. More of these things continue towards you all.
But nothing happens?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Oh, I don't.
I'm just gonna get onto Selpie's back.
Mm-hmm.
Would a night bear be able to hold 2 people?
I think it's a horse-sized thing, right?
A horse-sized creature might be able to hold 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mordecai,
Yeah.
get on.
Is there anything perceptible happening in the real world, or is this not actionable? Okay.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna click the reins, and we're gonna start running away from the strands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The strands begin to like curl back as if they're going to strike.
I am casting protection from good and evil. And I'm going to cast it on Norallie.
Okay.
And if nothing else is happening after that, I'm going to attempt to cast Word of Recall using my 7th level spell slot. Try and land back on my spot. Didn't want to have to use that today.
Okay. The Word of Recall does not go off.
Do I still spend a slot?
No.
No. Okay. Oh, well, shit. Okay.
And the horse begins running. But
There's a fly speed of 90 feet if that helps.
But there's nothing that... It's all the same place. It's like you're just going through the motions. A tendril lashes out.
I want to attempt to cast Dispel Magic on the place around us.
Okay.
So...
Choose a creature, object, or magical effects in range.
Is this an object or a magical effect within range?
There are tendrils that shouldn't exist. That's possibly magical.
Mm-hmm. So, do I get a die roll?
No. It seemingly has no effect.
Oh, well.
I cast mage armor on myself.
Okay. I need you to roll a percentile.
Ooh.
98. You're surrounded by faint ethereal music for the next minute.
Action music, great.
In case it wasn't creepy enough.
I am going to make a DM decision and say that it is a waltz on a piano.
Sure. A waltz on the piano?
A ballet. A ballet.
Sure. a ballet begins to play, the tendril lashes out and strikes against you, and is seemingly repelled by you.
Well.
Norallie, your nightmare and your knight are both encased in black tendrils.
I would like to cast Underwave using Careful Spell, so Selby and Mordecai pass their saves.
All right. So, how is this going to work if they're grappled?
I assume it would break the grapple.
Go ahead and roll another percentile as well. A 13. You cast Confusion centered on yourself. All right. So... this is going to... I need Mordecai and yourself to save against Confusion. I guess your mount rolls for that as well.
What?
Charisma save? Or is that a wisdom save?
I forget offhand.
I think it's wisdom.
We're at advantage because we had a hero's feast.
That is true.
Alright, Selby has a +1. I'll roll for Selby first.
Uh, 15 does not pass your 16.
I'm confused.
That did not work, right? Let me just roll 2d20.
Selkie doesn't, or whatever, doesn't get the advantage because they didn't partake in the Hero's Feast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it is just a
It'd
thingamabobber.
be 12. Does not pass.
Okay.
And then me. Lose wisdom. Nope.
Ooh, that's a red number even.
I'm very confused.
No, you have
No,
advantage.
you're at advantage.
No. That's still a red number. I was confused for a second.
Yep. All right, Norallie.
You're confused for a second, but then you realized you had advantage, and then
So you see that okay. So Mordecai and your nightmare will take half of your damage, but are not affected. The tendrils are pushed back. Whoops, that's the entire scene. They are pushed back some, but they're still there. However, it would seem that those two are in quite a state right now.
Oh, okay. Well, we're both on top of something. So, hey, Selfie, are you okay? Can we keep going?
That is in part. Hang on, let me open up this spell. If it is relevant, let's see. Color. Confusion. Spawning delusions, provoking uncontrolled action. Yep, a wisdom saving throw. Can't take reactions and must roll a d10 at the start of its turns. Alright. It kicks off and starts flying, but everywhere is the same here. So you're flying, but you're also not really moving anywhere. Mordecai, what are you going to do? Or at least attempt to do. You get to roll a d10 as well.
Roll a d10, see what I do.
On an 8, you use your action to make a melee attack against a randomly determined creature within its reach. If there's no creature within its reach, so you need to roll a d2 and either strike Norallie or the Nightmare.
There's no tendrils in range?
They were blown back.
Okay. So I roll a d2.
Alright, the mount. Something is suspicious about the mount, or in a fit of confusion or rage, you must strike. Bonk.
I try to bonk it with my staff, and it does nothing.
Bounces off. Okay. I'm going to...
You just kind of like widen crop it to go faster.
Oh, goodness.
AC is 13.
We do have a raid incoming. Welcome, Torpid Network.
Hi, Torpid Network. That's you to sing the animatic against me.
And, yeah. So, what are you going to do? They are going to strike out, and once more,
do they not have to make like rolls?
Not here.
No.
Mordecai and the figurine are once more bound up in these tendrils. And while there's not necessarily space nor direction, there is almost like a feeling of being reeled back into the darkness along the side here from whence they came.
Okay.
Back to you all.
I'm gonna use my 8th level spell slot and try to teleport us out.
Okay. Sure. Roll a percentile. $51. And a spectral shield hovers near you for the next minute, granting you a +2 bonus to AC and immunity to magic missile. That's pretty cool. And roll another percentile too for me. As I go to the spell. And that says on a 45. Okay. The two of you, or the three of you, I should say, the two humanoids anyway, disappear, and you two reappear, collapsing on your butts on the floor, and there are some wriggly, dissipating, well, not necessarily on you, but dropping off of your figurine. Wriggly, dissipating wisps that are...
And I'm still in a daze.
And yes, you are still confused. So, Mordecai, roll a d10.
I'm going to roll one for Soapy. Soapy level 2.
On a 2. A doop a doop a doo, deep a deep a dee. Creature doesn't move or take actions this turn. So Mordecai just sort of is in a daze, just sort of sitting there, just not doing anything.
On my 6?
Huh?
On my 6?
Oh, was that a 6? Why did I read a 2?
The 2 is for Soapy.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, yeah, I'm sorry. That was I just read the last number there. Mordecai on a 6.
So the nightmare's in a daze.
Oh, well, 2 through 6. So we have the entire spectrum of not moving or doing anything. So now the three, the two NPC PCs and Bright, can see that the three of them remanifested out. 2 of them have withering, dissipating black tendrils coming off of them, and this animal that wasn't there before, and Mordecai are just sitting there like, whoa.
So, are you guys okay? Also,
No.
I told you so. At least I thought you so. Maybe I didn't have a chance to tell you. But you shouldn't teleport willy-nilly. It's not safe.
Well, Mordecai told me to.
Well, that wasn't very smart of either of you. Mordecai, are you okay? You seem to be sitting there on your butt, not taking any actions.
Selene runs over and like stamps off the snakes or what, like the snakes that are coming off of Mordecai.
Oh, Selene, haven't you seen those before? People always get stuck to those when they come out of SHO'NEUROTH's realm. They disappear after a minute. They're harmful.
Anyways, this is Selfie. She's very dizzy right now.
Oh, I didn't see the giant horse standing there. I'm sorry.
And it's
It
almost...
also sheds bright light in 10-foot radius.
I know, but look, you're in this pool of radiance. I can see it on the, you know, the art.
Mordecai looks like he's gonna be sick. He's just woozy.
The confusion will fade out, though.
Yeah, eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just... Oh, that was weird. You're right.
So maybe let's not do that.
I don't like us not having an escape route. I don't like it at all.
Well, I mean, I had that spell so we could escape and it put us in dark places.
I was hoping that putting an anchor down would actually, like, make it solid.
Yeah, so I figured out maybe a little while you were away, which wasn't very long, but still long enough. This place is full of the children's memories. And as long as it's full of the children's memories, it's probably consecrated just to them. So we would have to replace those with our own memories. And it's funny because remember how we were going to spend today going down into the catacombs and looking for the source of the undead instead of sitting around in here playing with meta magic? Yeah, so I don't have any of the spells that let me alter memories. So we'll have to wait until tomorrow. And then I won't have those spells, so then we'll have to wait another day before we can go to the catacombs, if we want to teleport out of there.
I don't like it. I don't like not having a way.
I mean, there might be a way that isn't just I cast spells. Maybe we can find a way. I mean, we know their writings. I used to have some magic ink that might have been really nice for this purpose, but I don't think... I'll look through my pockets. I don't think I have it anymore.
There is a bunch of, like, chalk and crayons and pencils around.
Well, does it look like the same kind of... So here's a funny thing. Long time ago, like back at the start of the game, we all had special, like, non-mechanical abilities. Remember that? And mine was to have, like, stone cunning, but for writing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a calligrapher anymore. So I don't know if I still have that. But if I do, maybe I could use it to inspect the writing and the chalk and see if, like, they go together, right? And find out what goes with what. And failing that, I can always just identify the chalk and see if any of it's magical, or cast a detect magic.
When you cast detect magic, nothing about, like, because the chalk wasn't stored out of place, but it didn't glow when the first time when you came in here and you cast detect magic.
That's true. That's true. Okay. So maybe it's just mundane chalk, but maybe there was something about how they wrote it. I wish they were still here to tell us. Where did they go? I could always scry on them.
It's not helpful that they left.
I don't think...
I mean, we don't have to make this place an anchor. You can go
You
anywhere.
can always do that at the temple, yeah. Just figured this was out of the way enough. But we can go to the temple, since we were going to go out anyway. And see about well, I don't have it anymore today. That's moot point.
What, you mean your word of recall? You don't have a
Yes.
spell slot you can cast it with now?
I mean, I do, but I'd be everything powerful for the day.
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah.
Selene goes over and grabs
kind
some
of-
chalk. She walks over here.
Selene,
Uh-huh.
what are you doing?
Gonna write on the wall.
Why?
Because look around you. This place is filled with memories. And those memories mean something to the kids that lived here. Well, they're not here. This isn't their place any longer. Mordecai, with what you want to do. If something
Oh, we
has
can
to
just-
if something has to mean something, all right then. And she comes over here. And
We could just go somewhere else, though. Doesn't have to be here.
she writes, "The time I almost drowned in the cave." Huh. Do you remember that? That's when the pixies called me fat. I'm not fat, am I, Mordecai?
No. Fluffy, but not fat.
You answered that way too quickly. There's no right answer. You might as well actually just cast teleport on yourself when you're asked that. Even given what's happening. Alright.
So we don't have to erase what's here.
There's plenty of space. Here. She's gonna come over here, and right on the archway, she's gonna draw a little umbrella and put an M and an S underneath it.
What's that one for?
Means we share the same umbrella. It's kind of a love thing.
Or a religious thing.
There's that too. I take a piece of chalk and I am just gonna write flower field.
Okay.
Because that's where I met all of these.
Okay.
That's where I met Selene. That's where I met Bright. That's where I met Tazray. That's where I met Jade. That's where my life turned around.
And that's... yeah. Interesting how this one point, a rather innocuous point, really means so much, doesn't it? And she kind of like snugs up next to you.
Yeah. If that had never happened, if I'd never run across any of you, I would be somewhere else in Mesotopia. Probably engaging in behaviors that probably would not be great.
You'd still be on Luciferase, wouldn't you?
I'd given up Luciferase a little while before that. But the circus had disbanded. And I was directionless. And upon meeting you all, I felt I had direction again. Or at least was along for the ride. Because why not? I had nothing else.
And Bright, what about you? She'll come over here. I have one for you, if you don't think of anything.
I didn't know I had to. I thought it was just for the religious people.
Even if you don't have to, what would it hurt?
Well, it wouldn't hurt. I just didn't know why I should.
Do you always need a reason?
Well, it depends on what I'm doing. Who am I actually talking to? Is it Selene?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one for you. That time you almost died.
When was that?
Which time is
That'd
that?
be specific in this group.
And as everyone answers different answers at the same time, there's a slight shift in the mood of the magic is here, but it feels more solid.
So I was gonna go grab a piece of chalk and sit over by the window.
Uh-huh.
And she's gonna put some doodles up of her pets.
Oh, all right.
And
Cypher's going to come over as you're doing that. What are those?
That one's Yori. He's a flying snake. He wasn't a flying snake when my brother gave him to me, but then Bright, kind of killed him, but that didn't last too long, and he got wings. And
Totally
then...
true. I totally killed him, but he got better.
And then this is Mordecai. She was stuck on Mordecai's face for a while, and then when she popped off, he didn't want her, so I took her.
Do you have any idea how annoying it is to be laying awake at nights, to that slight little clucking noise? Not that I could sleep anyway, but
No, I like
people
her
of the
clucking
matter.
noise. It's easy to sleep to. Very rhythmic.
Purring of a cat. Now that's better.
Yeah, but I didn't have a cat. Well,
That's
I
why I
have two
said you were
lions
welcome
now,
to have her, because
and I did.
you have an affinity for those little things.
And then this is Brayson. He is a thoroughbred donkey, but you have to pay extra to put a donkey on a boat.
We never got him on the boat. It was very sad.
This is Selty. She's sitting over there. She's just waiting for something to do because she's gonna disappear in like a day. Well, not disappear, but go back into her figure form. And I don't want to dismiss her because we might need her today. And then we have Jaeger and Rafter. They're twin lions.
The professor starts drawing out the gauntlet that he found. This changed my entire line of research. You may not know it, but at one point in time, I wasn't nearly as smart or popular as I am now. I went out on a field research. I went to the northwest, even to the north of Kandor, and I found it there, in a wrecked airship of old design. The ones we're seeing now are way more advanced.
Love your ears.
And this thing here, this changed so much for me. Arguably, it even changed me. I wouldn't be the man that I am. Even the man that I was, even though I am, but I was because I refer to when I was a spectator. If the shifting tense makes sense. Ha! I'm a poet and didn't even know it. There you go, Mordecai.
And then this is Fenry. Mordecai left him in hell. And this is Herbert. He got killed by a dragon.
I'm sorry I left Fenry in hell.
You're gonna get him back eventually.
Selene comes up. Well, it's good that you shared those, though not all of them are good memories, but they still mean something to you, don't they?
Mm-hmm. I love all of them.
The airship in Islandia. That's when you, Selene, told me you had feelings for me. You didn't want to talk about it, but I made you, didn't I?
You did. It was... When you've gone for as long as I have without feeling feelings, having them again was disruptive. But I'm glad that you did. Snug.
Leave it to you, be very clinical about it.
And the professor comes over here and simply writes 10 foot 2 inches. And it's right above one of the memories that Cal left over here in the corner. And he turns around and he says, "Sometimes, when you're a professor, you have to mingle with the students. And the things that happen at those parties, I'm sure Bright can tell you."
I mean, I could. There was this one time where we had a professor who taught us who taught us about the weave, and he had this weird theory that the weave was stronger on one side of the campus than on the other. And whenever he would talk to us, we would always move towards the side that he thought was stronger. And so he always ended up turning toward that side. And so we convinced him that he was being pulled there by the strength of the magic.
Whoop, that's the wrong color.
Maybe that's not the sort of thing that you wanted me to tell. But I didn't get involved in those other kinds of things. I was mostly there to study. His name was Professor Stellick.
Professor Stellick?
Stellar.
Professor Stellick. Faintly rings a bell. Bit of an eccentric, if I recall.
Well, of course he was. He was a professor.
I resemble that remark. Ha! That's a joke.
Sure. Totally.
Let's see. She's going to move over here. She writes down when she delivered the baby on Lellywellen's gamble, now seemingly so far ago. Something so routine that happens every day that many of us overlook, but you know, and she turns a little somber, not sad, but just thoughtful. I wonder what that child is doing now, where it is, if it's all right. Something that was just so rote. And a special moment that I think a lot of us overlook. What's Norallie drawing?
The time we found out that Mr. Halver was a dragon.
Oh. Fascinating, fascinating. Selene comes over to you, Norallie, as you're drawing. Norallie.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to share with us a memory about your brother? I think that he deserves to be on these walls as well.
I got lots of memories with Loki.
Well, share one.
Oh. My brother, when I was little, our house was attacked, and my brother ran into my room and woke me up, and he just picked me up, and we jumped out the window. I was on the first floor, so it wasn't a big jump. But he carried me all the way down to the docks. And that's when we started living on the streets.
And as Norallie is telling this story and she's sketching out in chalk over here, Again, the magical atmosphere in here continues to become dense. The spell that had been cast was just sort of ambient. It was present, but it was having trouble cementing itself. And as you are telling these stories one by one, with something even as powerful as Norallie's memory, it's certainly not the happiest, but that seemingly caused an almost tangible ripple through the magic filling this place. Just as the airship, the Lovey airship confession, just as here we have Bright, who has gone back and was remembering her days back in her village, in her school, before she was exiled, in a sense, from her people, and now, well, with what's happened.
Oh, no, that was a story from when I was at wizard school. I have stories from when I was still in my village. You know, I mean, I've told you a lot of them, but most of them aren't very happy. I mean, there was the one with the squirrels who got their tails all tangled up together. I've told you that one before. At least I told it to Mordecai. I don't remember who else I told it to. And then there was the ones where, you know, the water would leap out of the kettle. That was no fun. And of course the ones where people died, and my sister, you know, I lost. That's why I had to leave.
Selene comes close. Bright, I don't think you shared that one with us. Not that I recall.
No, I totally did. It was in a side RP. I don't know how else to say that.
She shared that with Mordecai. I don't think she shared that with anyone else.
Oh, I only told Mordecai. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty simple. I mean, I was just doing my usual thing, you know, seeing things before they happen, and I tried to warn people that there was a boy who was going to drown in the river. And we all ran down to save him, and the river had already flooded, and we were all just trying to pull him out, and my sister lost her footing, and she fell into the river. And anyway, we ended up losing both of them. And that was really the moment that pushed me away, because until then, I mean, people always believed I was trying to help, and my parents protected me. You know, gnomes live a long time, so my parents were still alive, and anyway, we got. I mean, it just kind of changed their attitude after that. You know, when you lose someone in your own family, and so we all just felt. Okay, mostly I felt. But also they felt, but we didn't really talk about it. But mostly I felt, and also they felt that it would be better if I was somewhere else. So that's when I went to wizard school. And the stories there are a little more fun because, I mean, there's always something crazy happening in wizard school. So, I mean, if something blew up, or, you know, the chemicals in the chemistry lab all mysteriously changed which bottles they were in. Nobody was ever even sure if it was a prank or you know, my magic going wrong, or even if it was me. Sometimes I wasn't even sure if it was me. So, there was this one time when, this is kind of a funny story. This is what happens when you have too many gnomes in the same school. Me and another gnome both had the same idea of triggering a spell to set off explosives when somebody would walk in the door. You know, just pyrotechnics, just fun stuff, nothing where anybody would get hurt. You know, it's just like a really, really loud and exciting doorbell. Except we were both working on the doors at the opposite ends of this hallway, unbeknownst to each other. So I set it on one end and he set it on the other. And then we went to the other end to set the other pyrotechnics, and we set each other's off whilst trying to set them. It was one of those where the pranks sometimes backfired.
That's funny. Corinna had a thought to go to wizard school back at the capital. She and you would have gotten along a lot, I think.
Yeah, that was fun.
She was always devious like that.
Is this what you're listing on the wall by you, Mordecai? Is
Yeah,
Corinna
just
going
memories of her.
The professor turns around. I don't suppose she was going to go to Fallfire, was she?
No, it was here in Mesomaska, the Wizards College in the capital. And I was going to go to the capital with her as a tinkerer. That was our plan. Had it all laid out. Saved up money to buy a house and everything.
Oh, a tinkerer's degree. I hear they have a very good business minor that you graduate with.
It was... I had already finished my apprenticeship. I was going to set up my own shop. And then she died. And just everything shattered. All of my plans, everything that I wanted, just went up with her. And then I ran away the day she was being buried. I'd gone to her ceremony, but they were preparing her for burial, and I couldn't stay, and I left.
The professor gives you like a really a solid pat on the back and shoulder, like a there old boy, and also Selene bent down on her knees and gave you an absolute huge hug, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
well, thank
you're
you.
at risk of suffocation, but she's holding you tight.
Yep.
And that was her last word.
And yeah. I wandered for a little while, joined up with the circus, fell into things that I'm not proud of.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met all of you. 10 years later. And only just now, kind of working through all of that. I don't recommend it.
Mordecai, would you say that despite everything that's happened, and I was there for at least a chunk of it, I look at what you wrote, and I look around, and I see the memories here. By the way, what's as Bright and Mordecai are sharing, what's Norallie doing? Is she still doodling the dragon, or?
She's just sitting in front of their pictures.
Okay. In an odd sense, I almost feel that this... Is this what normal is?
This is every day. This is what every day is. We do the weird stuff. But just people.
And he nods, makes his way over towards Norallie. Norallie, I don't really know you all that much. It's absolutely been a whirlwind. And that just only proves, I think, what Mordecai had just said. But I want to know that, regardless of anything, we could very well have been dead 10 times over in the street. We could even die if we go into those catacombs. Who knows what foulness awaits us there. And then, of course, there's that SHO'NEUROTH and the Sky Shatter Leviathan to contend with. But I want you to know, Norallie, and not just because you shared a tragic story, but you're in this, I'm in this as well, and as are the others. And for what it's worth, from, I would say an old man, but I've earned my youth back. He's conceited enough to say that, I think. From me to you, I appreciate having had the chance to get to know you. And know
We're all in
that,
this together, right?
well, if we aren't, then I can only dream about what would happen. But I don't want anything to happen to you. And if your brother's out there, Norallie, I promise you, I will use all of my resources. Which he's like kind of puffing up at that, even though how many resources does he have? I'll use all my resources to try and find your brother.
Me too.
And Selene finally lets go of Bright to let her breathe. And she simply she comes up and she pets her hand on your shoulder as well. Norallie, I've known you a while now, at least since we've got the opportunity to meet. And standing here, looking at the things that we've done, even when we didn't know each other, those were still our lives that we've lived that have taken us to this place, to this moment, in this here and in this now. And maybe it's hypocritical in retrospect, given what happened to me. But I am sorry that I haven't done more to talk with you. I still fight with this, as I think it's a part of who I am. But, well, I think that I have been a very self-absorbed woman. And I arguably still am, and therefore will be for as much time as I have left. But perhaps, if that is more limited than any of us would hope, and she looks over at you, Mordecai, I want to try and fix that, and make the time that I have with you, and you, Professor, and Bright, and Mordecai, and of course, Norallie, Loki, should we find him. I want to make the best of the time that I have with you all, in hopes that if anything happens to us, these memories can persist beyond us, and maybe we'll even have the chance to add some more. And I want you to know that if there's anything you want to talk about, I will listen, and I will allow myself to become closer to people, as that's been a downfall of mine. Living a life of rejection, of being ridiculed for the beliefs that I have and the systems that I invented and honed and practiced. And, well... and she's actually, she's starting to mist up now, too. I want you all to know that I'm sorry. In any way that I've slighted you, and especially, Mordecai, that I had broken your heart so tragically with the actions that I took when we were fighting against Orlands. But that's not regret I want to carry forward. There's other things that need to be worried about and done, and I want to move on. And so, if you all can forgive me for my personal shortcomings and the way that I was forcefully parted from you, well, I will seek forgiveness for that. And if not now, then maybe I can earn it from you in the future.
There's nothing to forgive. It wasn't your fault.
Ma'am, you have my forgiveness as well. I don't know if I'm completely abreast of informed of the situation that you had been through, but yes, I forget. Let's press onward and upward, and always spinning.
No. Forgetting is bad.
Or yes,
Forgive.
well, that is to say, the expression. You got the professor flustered.
It's a colloquialism, but forgetting is pretending like it didn't happen. And you can't pretend that it didn't happen.
I suppose not with the proof written all around us.
No.
Well, am I embarrassed too? Then, as in such an educated mind, to fall into such a common trope of a saying.
I suppose that's what we hire musicians for, right? To tell the stories.
Oh, of course, to entertain, to put on a show. In fact, I have to tell you, the show that you had put on at the Tumbled Wench, well, just last night, though that feels like an eternity ago, I realize that, given everything, that's probably a poor joke as well, but I have not had such quality, and believe me, I have seen many a people play many an instrument, and even wield the magics that can be made from the interaction. But there was something special that happened there in that Tumbled Wench.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. I simply play my heart, and that's what happened.
And Norallie, you too were, you were instrumental, though you were not the one on the instrument. Humor, if you will. You were instrumental in that as well, and I have to say that your skills at improvisation went with such a common melody very well. It put a fresh new take on something that I've heard a million times over. Admittedly. And so the professor's kind of sheepish. He walks out here. I was sort of hoping that as I was watching you two do your thing, that I would have been able to clap along with you and perhaps even join in. I said it, and I won't take it back. So there you go.
Well, the Chroma Company has some shopping to do. And does it feel like this is a bit more manifested?
It's very close. Yeah. The magic is heavy in the air. And bright. I mean, you felt this before as well. Well, you have spent, simply X amount of time here talking about these things and using your chalk to draw pictures to relate bad stories or good stories and all of this, even just putting a name down or the like, they seem to have this same resonance that you first got from when you walked in here and you saw the children's graffiti all over the place.
Mordecai starts taking a piece of chalk and just writes the words Chroma Company.
As you begin, the professor says, "Excuse me, Mordecai, if I may make a suggestion, will you kindly stand next to Norallie?"
Okay, and he goes over towards her.
He's still just sitting there.
Kind of just putting a hand on her shoulder.
All right, now, Norallie, I am going to rely on your impressive height, and your skills to sort of seal the deal, I suppose. And Mordecai, would you be so kind as to hand that piece of chalk to Norallie? Now give her a great big hug if you don't mind.
And he hugs her, just kind of indulging the professor.
His gauntlet, and the two of you float up really high to the top of this area. Even higher above.
I could have got up here myself.
I want you to concentrate on making the biggest, most beautiful Chroma Company up there, and not have to worry about the mundane, such as levitation. Now, Mordecai, hold on to her. Norallie, if you don't mind.
Bride has better handwriting than I do.
I didn't ask for handwriting.
Yeah, he wants you to draw.
Hey, not that good.
I didn't ask for good. I asked for you to write Chroma Company. Above
am I writing
everything
or
else.
am I drawing?
I don't know. Whatever you want.
I thought he wanted you to draw. My mistake. He wants you to write.
You could draw the letters, which is kind of like writing, but also drawing.
I don't know why he didn't ask me. I don't know. We'll find out.
I know you have better handwriting. Okay.
But you can, yep, there we go, start writing that up there. As that happens, Selene comes over to you, Bright. You know how to make music, yeah? Not an instrument.
I didn't space this out right. I already messed up.
It's okay. It's all the more folksy.
I mean, it looks pretty right. I mean, I can make magical music. I can't really play any instruments. Well, I can play one instrument, but it's an Oihoyan instrument. Nobody wants to hear it, probably. But I can make.
Are you able to make music?
I mean, I can make magical music.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's the best kind. What kind? What do you want?
She's gonna whisper in your ear. It's something that you'd be familiar with that you can do.
Okay, then I'll do that.
Okay. So the two of you, Mordecai, as you're holding on to Norallie, and she's she's going up and she's writing out Chroma Company at the top.
This really would have been easier if you just let me die.
My dear Norallie, Just because something's easy doesn't make it meaningful. And there's going to be some music that is going to be starting up behind you as the big Chroma Company is scrawled up across here. And... The professor's using his gauntlet to maintain levitation. His ears perk back. Really now? I haven't heard this in quite a while. A celebration.
I think what he would say is, what is that melody?
What is that melody?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the professor would say.
What is that melody? And musical clapping and drums and other things. And the professor looks up. Norallie, are you finished?
Yeah, it still doesn't look that good. Maybe you can have Bright come up and fix it.
It looks fine.
It's all crooked and wonky.
Mordecai.
But it's yours.
Oh, yeah, it is yours? Mordecai, please, the flute, even if you're terrible at it.
I start going on the flute.
Norallie, the professor looks over at you. Ma'am, may I have this dance?
Okay, I guess we're doing this now.
Selene looks at you, Bright. A dance?
I mean, it'll be kind of awkward, but we can try.
And Mordecai, will you give me a performance?
Okay, I can do that.
Hey,
Not
there you
bad.
go. And in addition to the magical music that Bright, our music box, is producing, with the authentic piping by Mordecai here, a dance amid the memories of the Chroma Company in this haven plays out. And as it does, each of you feel an innate resonance with this place. That this has become a place of loss and sadness and tragedy that bears bad memories and memories that make us cry. But this is also... Right, we didn't need the fireworks, but that's fine. It's a nice touch. But...
Sorry, couldn't help you.
Yeah, let's have it.
My stories reminded me of fireworks, and so I had to do them.
But as the music fills the air and the dancing, and at one point too, the professor will take over. Will take over for you, Mordecai, and he will do the best that he can. But let's just roll this.
Oh.
Apparently he picked up pipe playing while he was studying, and so he takes over and he allows you this dance as the Chroma Company. And I mean, swing your partner round and round. You know, Bright and Norallie can get into the dance, and then we have Selene and Mordecai, and y'all are do-si-doing and etc. But amidst the good memories of found love and people who are lost and important to us, the promises that we make to each other and the forgiveness that we offer, Mordecai, your spell finds its purchase in this haven, and this becomes a focal point for you, a safe haven, a place that is sanctified and sacred, not just through the involvement of Lady Weejas, but because these are your lives as you live them, and these are the memories that you've made, and these are very, very powerful things. And it is here, with the short celebration that we will end tonight's session before you go shopping, or honestly, if you want to do shopping on the side, we can go shopping on the side. But the spell takes hold, and
Is that
song.
just for the day?
Huh?
Is that just for the day?
I don't know. The day has to pass. But for
Yeah,
right now...
Okay. Alright.
Oh. Wow, doing this gives Norallie and Bright googly eyes, if y'all are watching the VOD. Or the... Anyway. The little things, everyone. Thank you all for coming out and joining us. For all who rated, thank you for rating. For those of you who followed, subscribed or re-upped, those of you who are lurking, thank you. And I hope that you enjoyed another session here of, I don't know, whatever we call this show. Matty Morgs Presents, but I don't know. You could use a better name.
Company.
Of Chroma Company.
Chroma Company.
You know, it's kind of funny how you've written Professor's Weave over here. It makes it sound like, I mean, it's just the weave. It wasn't the Professor's Weave. He had a weave of a completely different kind. It wasn't me, because I didn't know that spell. Still don't know that spell. Someone once cast animate objects on it. You know, as he was doing his lectures, it would just kind of be hopping around, and he'd reach up, and he'd be like, is it itching? You know? And then at the end of the lecture, it just flew up and stuck to the ceiling.
See, I knew what I was doing when I put that down. All right, everyone. So let's go find a place of wonderment and energy. Let's go raid. Who are we gonna raid today? Oh, we are going to share our joy. As soon as I go over to the channel, anyway. Okay, here we go. We're going to share our joy with VexFX, a very creative individual as well. Someone who can always talk D&D and is definitely jonesing to play. So why don't we continue to tempt Vex into doing so? Come with us. Thank you again for another wonderful Tuesday, and we'll see you Wednesday through Saturday for Mini Painting 101. And hopefully Wave 14 minis. We'll see, okay? Be well, my friends, and, bye. Is it Tuesday yet?